Are we ready, Cole? Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Artichoke Music. Is there anyone here for the first time tonight? Awesome. I'm going to thank all of again. We just love that when new people discover us because this is a really special room, as you'll hear soon. Night 3. Has anyone been here for night 1 and or 2? Ooh, all new people. That's even better. Anyway, we've just been astounded and just so happy not only to have all of here, but to have all of you. And I have never in my life, all the shows we do here, which is 16 to 20 a month, had people line up out to here to talk to her afterwards. So it just really speaks to what an incredible artist and person that Olive is. So anyway, I'm glad that we found each other. They've played at Artichoke, 20 years ago maybe?
No, I'm not that old.
Well, I couldn't remember how old you were.
About, I think, probably 10 years ago.
10 years ago,
yeah.
When it was over on Hawthorne. Yeah, sorry. When you get old, time doesn't matter. But anyway, at Sisters last year is where we hooked up. So I'm really glad. And the other thing I don't think we've ever done is sold out 3 nights in a row in flipping August in the summer when there's free stuff. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for doing this. And let's enjoy the show.
Hello, welcome to Artichoke Music. I'm so happy to be here. I, as Shelley was saying, played my very first original song ever at Artichoke Music when I was about 17 years old. And just for the sake of, nostalgia and returning to a space, I'm gonna play that song first. She's a beautiful fool, but an ugly intellectual. She disregards the rules, but they tie her down. Oh, she can't make a sound. She's cynically optimistic, unintentionally cryptic. She's not free yet, but she wants to be. Oh, she's a spirit in disguise. She's a goddess with a knack for climbing trees. She's a maniac and she'll dance alone in the middle of the street. She's radiant but fragile. There's a universe behind each smile. She's not free yet, but she wants to be. Oh, she's a spirit in disguise. Spirit in disguise. Thank you. Has anyone in this audience been to either the Truth or Dare tour or the Sleepover tour? Okay, nice. Definitely a few of you guys. Okay, cool. So because of those tours and because they were so themed and so theatrical, when I planned these shows, I was like, well, I can't just sing my songs and talk. I have to have some form of theatrics, some form of structure, because after doing those and having all the fun with those ones, I had to create something. So I'm doing kind of a loose cabaret storytelling of my life, a little Eras tour of my own, if you will. But there's only 3 of them. I don't have 12 albums like Taylor Swift does. But yeah, so right now, that was the first song I ever wrote and finished and thought, okay, I might be kind of good at this. But the first couple songs I'm going to play are from this era kind of before I decided to pursue music as a career. It was just the songs that I wrote while I was processing growing up, processing my own first relationships, And part of those were on my Fire Alarm EP, and then part of those were just random singles that I released. And it's really fun looking back now because I was writing those songs without any regard for the conventions of songwriting that I've learned along the way, or I wasn't thinking about, oh, will these get playlisted on Spotify or listened to? I was just putting it all out there. And I feel like in many ways I was freer as a songwriter, which is really cool to look back and see. But this next one is actually one of the songs from my EP, Fire Alarm, and I wrote it when I was 18 years old, right after I graduated from high school. And oddly enough, it's still very relevant to my life, and I do think it's one of my most underrated songs. So I'm going to re-record all of these songs, so I really don't like the original recording of this one, but I'm going to re-record it, and hopefully y'all will enjoy it. It's called The Big Game. There's a Bible on the floor. There's an empty vodka bottle in my underwear drawer. Chin up, child, oh, what a life you have ahead. That's what they're all saying. If I could only find my head. Is it missing? Is it hiding? Was it ever there? Has its power been obstructed by my frizzy mess of hair? I don't know, but I'm anxious and I know that I'm not ready. But I don't know how much longer I can wait. Chaos and confusion are so bittersweet. 90 years of living and you might never feel complete. But the search is on and I'm not too strong. And the weather, it will weather my thin skin. And I'll live for tomorrow, yeah, I'll live for you. I'll sing to the stars just to thank them for the moon. And a shoulder to rest on at the break of dawn. And my laughter will be tainted with sin. Because contrary to what they tell you to do, I'll never be playing this game to win. I'm a walking bridge burner. The soles of my shoes, they are laced with kerosene. Endings don't always breed possibilities. I'm sure I'll learn it one day, but for now just leave me be. Now I'm alone and I'm anxious and I know that I'm not ready, but I don't know how much longer I can wait. Chaos and confusion are so bittersweet. 90 years of living, you might never feel complete. But the search is on and I'm getting strong. I won't let the weather weather my thin skin. And I'll live for tomorrow, yeah, I'll live for you. I'll sing to the stars just to thank them for the moon. Shoulder to rest on at the break of dawn. And my laughter will be tainted with sin. Because contrary to what they tell you to do, I'll never be playing this game to win. Oh, I'll never be playing this game to win. Could we maybe mute this microphone? Cool, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna drink water. The thing they don't tell you about like being a singer-songwriter is that like every single thing that you do on stage is watched, including like drinking water and tuning your guitar. And it's like, oh my God, how do I like make this fun and entertaining for people? Was that fun and entertaining for you guys? Yeah. So, next song I wrote when I was 19, I had gone to visit Cal Maritime, which is like a sailing school in Northern California, because one of my college friends had a friend up there, and I like briefly fell in love with her. And I was like, oh my God, wouldn't it be so groundbreaking to write a gay sailor song? And I have lived long enough to see another gay sailor song, a second gay sailor song pop off. And I'm really excited about it. I love that song, but I will just say, I broke the ground. I walked so that one by Gigi Perez could run. Do you guys know what song I'm talking about? Yeah. Kiss me on the mouth and love me like a sailor. Anyway. I think I made it worse. There we go. Okay. So this is the original Gay Sailor song, just by the way, just in case you guys were wondering. She was a sailor stationed at the northern bay. Aimlessly inspired, I was making my way up and down the interstate. I was just along for the ride when we locked eyes, drowning out the screams of the party behind us. Only 2 short days before I'm headed out to leave. Couldn't help but lose myself in a fantasy where you would sail me away with our troubles off the bow. Find shelter from the storm, lay here with me now. We'll sing until our hearts sink deep down into the blue, drunkenly waltzing in some smoky saloon. And each morning when we wake up, the horizon will be new. Through every ocean, every sea, I will be true. So baby, sail me away. We'll watch the world as it floats by. We'll gaze at every star, asking every why. Oh, someday our life on land will be a distant memory. Through every ocean, every sea, stay true to me. All right, now for another groundbreaking gay song about about being in college and discovering your sexuality. Four shots and you're pouring me a fifth. No girl's ever looked at me like this. Your roommate's pissed, she's halfway out the door. We throw our glasses back and I shiver as your hair kisses the floor. I can't remember which party we danced through that night, but Boys ask stupid questions, we just laugh at the secret we can't hide. For the first time, Cinderella's staying out past midnight with her lips pressed against my shoulder. It's not forever, it's just a moment we can smile at when we're older. Takes off and doesn't stop till she's halfway to the moon. Suddenly we're sober and we're shy, but someday we'll be brave enough to look each other in the eye. I can't remember which party we danced through that night. The boys ask stupid questions, we just laugh at the secret we can't hide. For the first time, Cinderella can hear the clock strike with her lips pressed against my shoulder. It's not forever, it's just a moment we can smile at when we're older. You hid your face the next morning in line for the waffle iron. I forgive you, I was nervous too. A couple years flew by till we talked for hours at a house party in College Park. We didn't kiss, we just reminisced. I don't remember which one of us was last to reply. The boys still ask me stupid questions, I just scoff and roll my eyes. Now I know that Cinderella don't need no prince to survive. Sometimes I check up on your profile. It's not forever, it's just the way I tend to think of you and smile. It's not forever, it's just the way you cross my mind once in a while. It's not forever, it's just a moment we can smile at when we're older. I feel like I definitely have the energy right now of like, I've been listening to Chapel Roan since 2020. And I have been, but you know what I mean. I'm like, I've been here. But I'm gonna play with this weird little thing on stage. You might be wondering, what the heck is that weird suitcase doing on the stage? It is my percussion because I'm really scared that people will get bored. And I'm scared that I will get bored. More than being scared that you guys will get bored, I'm like, I'm gonna get bored. I need to challenge myself. I need to like keep things fresh. So I decided I can tap dance. How hard is it gonna be to play tambourine and drum and guitar and sing at the same time? It's not that hard. But yeah, I have this little thing and I'm gonna play a song with it. It has been through a lot. If you notice the pink tape on it, that is because the edges that the pedals connect to were so sharp that one of my touring mates actually sliced her leg open while carrying it. So now it's a little safer than it was before. Yeah, it's a funny character. It's a fun character that I have in my life. Do you guys think? I feel like I should name it. If you talk to me after the show and you think of a name, please let me know, because I don't have one in my head. This is a song I wrote when I was 22, and I was dating someone who was 26, and they were really into like fancy, pretentious coffee and like gourmet food, and I didn't know anything about that, and I also didn't know how to cook rice at the time, and I also had undiagnosed ADHD at the time, and I was like, oh my God, this person is not going to like me if I don't know anything about coffee. But the ironic twist is that now that I am that age, I realize I have found the joys of pretentious coffee. And it's really, I realize now that it's like a lot about filling the void. You're like, okay, I need to like fill the void with like weird niche interests when you get to be in your mid-20s. So, you know, got some hindsight on the situation, but this is how I felt back then. You know just how to brew your coffee so every flavor shows its teeth. You take your time with each section of my spine, babe. You really know just how to please. And you're meticulous with every grocery list. You've got a garden growing green. I smile silently. You're staring back at me, say, tell me what you're thinking for a penny. But I don't want to tell you I don't cry anymore. How many nights I spent clutching my knees against the floor. I buy pre-cooked rice, and I'm not that nice to myself. I don't want to show you what it's like behind my smile. So I'll just keep my thoughts at bay and kiss you for a while. Let's keep our lips busy, get a little dizzier, blurring this illusion that I built for you. Don't shatter it now. Don't shatter it now. You get up early. You go on runs 6 miles through the city just for fun. You revel in the stillness of the morning. Invite me to the desert without any sort of warning. I take my pills at 11. Get out of bed at 1:45. Can't seem to find where I misplaced my peace of mind, but believe it or not, this is how I but I don't want to tell you I don't cry anymore. How many nights I spent clutching my knees against the floor. I buy pre-cooked rice, and I'm not that nice to myself. I don't want to show you what it's like behind my smile. So I'll just keep my thoughts at bay and kiss you for a while. Let's keep our lips busy, get a little dizzier, blurring this illusion that I built for you. Don't shatter it now. Don't shatter it now. You can buy me jade, we can hope it grows, but today I'm still too petrified to genuinely show you who I am. But I'll eat your homemade jam. So I'll just get my things and drive away just like before. I'll try to keep myself busy. Stop getting dizzy, I'll hide behind this cold, aloof illusion. So for the sake of settlement confusion, it's over now. It's over now.
What if I was like, that's it? You just get like 5 songs. No, it's not. You're trapped
Here for another like hour and a half, I promise. So this next song is what catapulted me into the era number 2. And I think it's a very funny, dramatic, ironic twist in my life of many funny, dramatic, ironic twists. I wrote this song in summer of 2021, and it was June and it was like raining outside and I was supposed to be doing something else, but I decided to play around and write this little song, and then the internet was like, that's the one! That's the song! This is gonna change your life. And I was like, oh my God, it's gonna change my life. I got all these emails that were like, you're gonna be a star, kid. Come to Hollywood. Which is so ironic because this song really is about how I always think that if I leave a place, it'll just get better when I go to the next place. But then when I get to the next place, I just miss the place that I was before. But yeah, hopefully everyone here can specifically relate to this song.
Scared of the winter, even though summer is taking her sweet time to start. It's her manipulative art, she's full of greed. She's such a tease with her neon blues and greens and sweaty palms. She tricks your heart into thinking that it's calm, but then the rain comes back like it always does. Every noon of every June I used to sit beside my windowsill and stare up at the gray sky. She didn't even care that I had waited, calculated all the lakes that I would swim, and all the carnival games I'd win. If it would only clear up by then, I'd lift my chin. So I will try, I will wait patiently for July, or move to somewhere with a clearer sky. And when I do, life will be yellow, I won't sink into the blue. So I tried, I couldn't wait patiently for July. So I moved to somewhere with a clearer sky. But when I did, I only missed the rain.
How's everyone doing tonight? Are you guys doing good? Yeah? On a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how you're feeling on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, 7. Cool. So I packed my bags. I threw them in the car. I headed down I-5, and I set my sights on Hollywood. That's like the most cabaret part that I have. I have that line, and I've said that every night. But I set my sights on Hollywood, and I wrote this song about it.
Some nights I just can't take it. Wanna burn through my small savings, stuff my soul into a hatchback and just drive. Not like I had some direction or some nebulous protection. I am light years from perfection. loneliness, it suits the open road, just like a hand-me-down code. The movie still ain't old after all this time. Hanging on by one minuscule thread, and it's getting loose. And I got not that much to lose, so cut the damn ties. Speeding down I-84 East, paid $1,000 to break my lease. To drive 8 hours to play some songs for a couple bucks. Chase elusive satisfaction, getting high on fake passion. Stare at muted shades of gray till they're beautiful. But loneliness, it suits the open road, just like a hand-me-down code. The movie still ain't old after all this time. Hanging on by one minuscule thread, and it's getting loose. And I got not that much to lose, so cut the damn ties. Cut the ties, tell a couple white lies to feel the sun upon your skin of a foreign sky. Cut the ties for once in your life. It's okay to tear it down and redesign. 'Cause loneliness, it suits the open road, just like a hand-me-down code. The movie might get old, but we still got time. I'm hanging on by one minuscule thread, and it just came loose. And I got not that much to lose, so cut the damn ties. I got nothing to lose, so cut the damn ties.
Yeehaw. How'd you guys feel about participating? Sorry, let me rephrase that. How'd you guys feel about participating? Okay, cool. Here's how this part goes. It's gonna be like a repeat after me song. Have you guys ever done a repeat after me song? Okay, so like, this is a repeat after me song. Okay. All right.
Isn't life so fun? Ain't it so great? Isn't life so fun? Ain't it so great? When you're watching all the rules disintegrate. When you're watching all the rules disintegrate. They've underrated being a disgrace. They've underrated being a disgrace.
Cool. You guys sound so good. You're probably gonna forget the words. I don't have any like sing-along parts because I have so many words in all of my songs, but I was like, I have to make something a sing-along part. But what matters is not the words. What matters is the spirit of the song. And the spirit of the song is getting really silly and not following any of the rules. So if you want to say other words, you can say other words too. If you want to get up and dance around, you can do that too. All that matters is that you commit to the bit. Can you guys commit to the bit? Yes. Okay, thank you. Amazing. That's going to be at the very end of the song. And I'll wink at you when it starts. I've never done that before. Let's see if I remember. But yeah, this is a song. This is the first song I wrote when I moved to LA, and it was about how I was like, this is so cool that I'm not following any of the rules, and I was meeting all these really interesting people, and I was only hanging out with other queer people, which was really amazing. And yeah, it was just like a song about being excited to erase all the rules I had created for myself and that the world had created for me. Yeah. It's called Out of Line.
I've been falling in love with reckless abandon, projecting my joy on pretty faces. Every afternoon I spend muddy in my shoes. Don't try to tell me that I need new laces. I'll start short-lived affairs, graduate undeclared. Who says I'm too old for truth or dare? I'll stop seeking to find, start saying what's on my mind. I'm done waiting. So I guess I'll just get out of line. I've been living parallel lives in the corners of my mind, getting unattached to linear time. I'm inviting all my friends so the chaos never ends. I'm begging you to plagiarize, to start short-lived affairs, graduate undeclared. We'll never grow out of truth or dare. We'll stop seeking to find, always say what's on our minds. Fuck this waiting. I suggest we all get out of line. Isn't life so fun? Ain't it so great? When you're watching all the rules disintegrate. They've underrated being a disgrace. It's a joy when you got all these silly little lines you get to erase. Isn't life so fun? Ain't it so great? When you're watching all the rules disintegrate. They've underrated being a disgrace. It's a joy when you got all these silly little lines you get to erase. Isn't life so fun? Ain't it so great? It's a joy when you got all these silly little lines you get to erase.
You guys get the biggest participation trophy ever. Who here is over the age of 25? Yeah. Okay, we've got a few of you. Okay, well, to everyone who's not over the age of 25, you may have heard that this thing called your prefrontal cortex develops when you turn 25. And I was really looking forward to that day. I was like, everything's going to be fine. Once I turn 25, my prefrontal cortex will finally kick in, and everything will just make sense. And I feel like it's in the process. I feel it still locking in. It's a slow process is all I'm going to say. It's not like you turn 25 and then magically everything's fine and makes sense. It's like you turn 25 and you're like, you have a crisis, and then slowly your crises become easier to cope with. But it doesn't all make sense. And there are times when you will still feel like a teenager, and then there are times that you will feel 50 years old. But this next song I wrote when I was like, I had just turned 25, and I was like, why do I still feel like a teenager? Nothing is fair. Life is so hard. And I think it's funny to compare this song to a song like Spirit in Disguise that I wrote when I was like 16 or 17. You can tell that I was like trying to sound really sophisticated. And in this song, I feel like I'm doing the opposite, and I'm trying to sound anti-sophisticated. This is my anti-sophistication song. And feel free to sing along if you know the words.
I've been skipping meals and dodging plans and listening to pop punk bands. I'm tired of trying to fake it like it's fine. Been yelling at my friends, staying online till 3 a.m. Hey teacher, could you please extend my deadline? Well, I swore that I'd be done by now, but I need another year or two to finish developing my mind. Oh, I'm a toddler running through the bank. They told me I'd grow out of all this adolescent angst. Why do I still relate to Lady Bird when Taylor Swift makes me feel hurt? It's like my pen is stuck to the last page, and I can't finish my damn coming of age. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, la-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I count the New Year's days, I never change. The only difference is the pain piercing my temples every morning. A quarter century, but I'll still be down with an overpriced degree I haven't seen since graduation. Sure, I'd love to grab coffee soon, but I might not text you back till June. I'm not busy, I'm just full of reservations. Oh, I'm a toddler running through the bank. Told me I'd grow out of all this adolescent angst. Hate that I still relate to Lady Bird, and Taylor's got away with words. It's like my pen is stuck to the last page, and I can't finish my damn coming of age. What's the point of growing up when it's obvious the world is fucked by stuff someone thought up before my time? So I'll clean my toilet, pay my bills, eat my salad, take my pills in a box inside a city that's on fire. No wonder why I always wake up tired. 'Cause I'm a toddler running through the bank. I don't think I'll grow out of my existential angst. I'll skip the philosophical pretense, 'cause Kierkegaard's a little dense. I can't focus, drawing doodles on the page of this never, ever, 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 ever ending.
I always do 2 full breaths at that time. They're like, eh. And I think I just realized that I have like really good lung capacity today. So I think that's the longest I've ever held it out. I was like, wow, I really something in the air. I don't know. So that was probably my most rowdy song. And last night, I was like rating every song on a scale from demure to rowdy. I don't know if you know that person on TikTok that's like very demure. But this next one's very demure. But it's about finding magic in being an adult and realizing that magic does not have to end or go away when you stop being a child. It's called Casting Spells.
You told me there were fairies in the backyard, so I whispered every time the tulips grew. You told me there's a bowling alley underneath the mess hall, so I listened close for all the strikes you threw. You told me you had magic powers to take away my hiccups. Still wonder how it worked every time. You told me that one day I'd be in the driver's seat of my own life, and it might get kinda scary, but it'd be mine. Some of this magic has faded, but don't you dare call me jaded, 'cause I'm sitting in the front seat, crank the music, blast the heat, and I'm casting spells on my life, left and right. You told me shooting for the moon was worth it, so I listened. Even if I miss, I'll land among the stars. You told me if you use imagination, all the farthest magic kingdoms can exist right where you are. You told me...
Oh, this is the part that I forgot on the first night, and now I'm forgetting it again. Why is this happening? Oh, God.
But then I started growing, the evidence started showing that these tall tales were gilded with lies. They told me to be practical, these idioms weren't factual. It's time to let these silly visions die. Some of this magic has faded, but don't you dare make me jaded, 'cause I'm closer than it seems. I'm staring at my wildest dreams. I'm out here casting spells on my life, left and right.
We have come to the time in the night where we are taking a little break. Since it's such a long show, we're giving everybody the chance to stand up, stretch their legs, go to the bathroom, get a drink, get a snack, or look at the guitars in the other room. And I was inspired because I just visited my summer camp, my summer camp growing up. And we always like did this little game of like getting to know each other where we say our rose, thorn, and bud of the day. So if there's someone around that you don't know and you want to have a little conversation and meet a new friend, you can play that game. It's basically you say your rose of the day, which is like your highlight of the day, your thorn of the day, which is something that wasn't that awesome that happened, and then your bud is something that you're looking forward to in the future. Could be fun. I don't know. I like when people meet each other. Last night somebody was like two people came up to me and they were like, oh, we met at your last show and now we're friends. And I think that's really sweet. So, yeah. Anyway, see you in 15 minutes. Did everybody have a good time? Nice. There's a poster, or not poster, a framed picture on this back wall of this lady who has had such a profound impact on my life. Her name is Joni Mitchell. And yeah, she is probably like probably the most influential artist to me. I remember when I was really little, my parents would play her for me, and I was like, I for some reason immediately connect to this, and I was like 7 years old singing about how I've looked at life from both sides now, and I hadn't even looked at life from one side. I was just 7, but that song specifically I think is like probably some of the best songwriting I have ever heard, and it just gets more and more relevant every year that passes. And I wasn't gonna play this song, but when I saw this picture of her on the wall, I was like, I gotta play a Joni song for all my sets. So, yeah.
Bows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions. I recall, I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go. So if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions. I recall, I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions. I recall, I really don't know life at all.
you. That one gets me. I feel like that used to be my answer for like, what's a song that like never fails to make you cry. But then I started like playing it for people, and I was like, okay, I have to get through this without crying. So that is the challenge every time I play it. I'm like, just know that I'm holding back tears every time. This next song I wrote the very first time I drove all the way across the country. And since then, I've driven across the country like 4 times. And it was the first time I was like really seeing the depths of Middle America. I was in the South for the very first time, and it was like a very eye-opening experience. And I feel like, you know, this country is full of paradoxes and full of lots of hateful rhetoric, but also a lot of beauty and a lot of love in every pocket of this country. And I think that one thing I've been thinking about recently is, I think, and I don't know if I'll be able to say this as well as I said it last night, but I think that on the left, there's often this idea that we all hate America, and it's kind of like, ugh, America, the USA sucks, and I just want to leave. But in my experience through touring and, you know, experiencing so many different cities and finding my little corner of all of these different states, I've just like developed a really deep love for America and a really deep love for this country. And I feel like it has motivated me to fight for it more and fight for the America that I want to live in, because it's my home. It's always going to be my home. And I think that, I've talked to a lot of people recently, including my dad, who are, very much on the left, liberal leftist, whatever you want to call it, who, want to change that idea that America sucks and that it's like we love it and that's why we want to see this country be what we want it to be. Just an idea, just been playing around with it. Just thought I'd say it because I'm about to play this song, but I am not a politician. Unless you want to nominate me for president. No. Maybe one day.
With California in my rear view, I stopped into a drive-thru. I'll admit I'm just a sucker for convenient and fast. I swear Kansas lasts forever. Billboard calling me a sinner. All my thoughts were screaming at me through the vast. Well, they grew me in a bubble, sheltered me from all that rubble, and said, baby, history is just the past. So I'm not even gonna try to write a song about America. It's too big and too daunting of a task. Great Plains, stomach pains, boarded up the windows on the south side of town. Unmarked graves, Jesus saves. Keep your credit up and your head down. You better keep your credit up and your head down. Now I'm passing into Tennessee, another place I'm scared to be, where they celebrate the selling band, the dress. While they hold the burning fork, she's boarded a train to New York, where she'll pay triple rent and learn how to repress. But hey, everything's so different now, with corporate pride campaigns and how Hollywood's just getting so diverse. But I'm not even gonna try to write a song about America, so I'll settle for a chorus and a verse. Boarded up the windows on the south side of town. Unmarked graves, Jesus saves. Keep your credit up and your head down. You better keep your credit up and your head down. City in the forest where a cop can learn to kill. The one who blames the addict is the one who made the pill. 2 million in cages, yeah, we boast about free will. I feel like dying, but there's just too many who's. Oh, who the hell am I to write a song about America? But if anybody's listening, I will. Great Plains, growing pains. I know things have gotta change. I don't know how. Strike the match. We'll start from scratch. Just keep your head up high. Don't drop your crown. I think we're coming back. We're coming back around. I think we're coming back. We're coming back around. I think we're coming back. We're coming back around. I think we're coming back. We're coming back. We're coming back. We're coming back. We're coming back around.
Oh God. Oh my God. That's terrifying. So now we are entering into the third era. That was just a little transitional space, but my little secret is that I have an EP like recorded and mixed and kind of almost ready to go. And it's kind of about this last year of my life, which has been very disorienting and confusing. And here's for my second little ironic twist in my life. So I released this album pretty much a year ago today called Don't You Dare Make Me Jaded. And it was with a record label. And immediately after I released that album, they said, "We're dropping you from our label." After I said, "Don't you dare make me jaded." And they said, "Well, you don't have a job anymore." And I said, "What? I don't have a job anymore? That's crazy." So I basically couldn't afford to live in LA anymore. And it was also at the same time I was going through a breakup. And it was just like this crazy confluence of pulling rugs out from under me and kind of forcing me to recalibrate and figure out what was next. And it also happened like a year before my 27th birthday, but it's your Saturn return, I think, gives you all these challenges to figure out. And then once it returns, I think it's supposed to be chill, but before it returns, it's like, everything is going wrong. But yeah, so this past year of my life has been extremely chaotic, extremely confusing, and very, very exciting and full of a lot of great things, but also full of a lot of chaos. And I wrote this next song kind of about what my brain feels like, what the inside of my brain feels like. And it's the most chaotic song, I think maybe even more chaotic than Coming of Age. And it doesn't make any sense, but all my songs are like very narrative. They're like, this is how I feel, and this is how I feel, and it's very straightforward. This song is not like that, and I really like that about this song. But yeah, it's also just like kind of what it feels like to have a brain that's different and neurodivergent and like really weird in there. So yeah, it's called Train of Thought. Well, there's a train in the sky in the middle of my mind, and it's flying off a one-way track, and they try to button up my suit and tie in an attempt to hold me back. But there's this strange old conductor wearing pearls and a backwards baseball cap. And there's a shoe on the floor cracking open the door to the band book of my... Okay, I'm sorry, excuse me. I actually need to put it up here. There we go. I'm gonna start over. I was like, my voice isn't going down there. Well, there's a train in the sky in the middle of my mind. It's flying off a one-way track, and they try to button up my suit and tie in an attempt to hold it back. But there's this strange old conductor wearing pearls and a backwards baseball cap. There's a shoe on the floor cracking open the door to the band book of my heart, and I'm just digging through the darkness, waiting for the end to start. And there's this strange librarian smashing all the windows of her car. Sometimes the river don't flow. Sometimes the eye of the storm has a glow, like a North Star or a small town bar or a cheat code. Sometimes you can't see the road or the bright yellow flame in the back of your throat. Everything hides in plain sight like the wind blows. Well, there's an old man sitting by the podium stand with hazy, far-off eyes, and he's just giggling like a little girl who just spoiled her own surprise. And he says, oh, please stop looking at me, I'm getting busy. There's a couple scars on this here guitar, about 100 on my skin. I love to take a fall, miss your call, then get back up again. I'm getting too free for you to like me, but I'll still let you in. Sometimes the river don't flow. Sometimes the eye of the storm has a glow, like a North Star or a small town bar or a cheat code. Sometimes you can't see the road or the bright yellow flame in the back of your throat. Everything hides in plain sight like the wind blows. Well, there's a train in the sky in the middle of my mind, and it's flying off a one-way track, and they try to button up my suit and tie in an attempt to hold me back. But I'm this strange old conductor wearing pearls and a backwards baseball cap. So, all this was happening in the face of a breakup, right? Raise your hand if you have gone through a breakup. Raise your hand if you have an Instagram account. Raise your hand if the person that you went through a breakup with also has an Instagram account. Okay, it's like a slightly smaller crowd this time, but this one's for you, those specific people that just raised their hand. Yeah, so I feel like we do this thing on Instagram where we're like, I'm gonna mute this person because it's better for my mental health. I need to protect my peace. I don't need to see what they're doing, you know, like I'm on my own journey now. But then you open the app and you're like, but like, what if I just type their name in? Like that couldn't hurt, right? And then it does hurt because you see that they had this really fun party and they didn't invite you, and this person that they told you not to worry about is like really close to them in one picture, and you're like, huh, okay, interesting. And then so you text all your friends and you're like, let's go out tonight, let's have a really fun night, and you get all dressed up and you look really cute and you take 1 million pictures with you and your friends and you post them and you're like, I am not doing this for any reason other than to show the world that I am having a good time. Not that one person, not to see if that one person is looking, just for me. When in reality, you're really sad and you're going through a lot. I wrote this song about that experience. It's very specific, but I also feel like a lot of people have gone through it. It's like a specific modern day experience. It's called Cold War. Cold War has begun. I did it again. The Cold War has begun.
who can prove that they're having the most fun. Through tiny screens and Spotify streams, we're trying to prove to the other that we won. Well, I've been staying up late, I've been rising at noon, I've been smoking way too much weed, I've been doing all the things you never do. But I've been making new friends, and with the old ones I'm making all of my amends. I search the bottom of my gut when I see a shiny thing for butterflies, but they all got broken wings. The butterflies have all got broken wings. Hope you had fun at your party. All our old friends were there. I look at pictures like they're pieces of a puzzle, indicating you no longer really care. But I can't really blame you, all is fair. I see you got a new friend. I'm lying here alone, just trying to comprehend how I'll search the bottom of my gut when I see a shiny thing for butterflies, but they all got broken wings. The butterflies have all got broken wings. The Cold War has begun, and I'll be the first one to break down and admit it, baby, I'm not really having any fun. I'm not having any fun. I'm not having any fun.
I think this next song is going to piss anyone off who's over 30. And I'm sorry about that, but basically, I saw this thing. It was like a Greta Gerwig quote that was like, 27 is the first time that you're not considered young. Like, you can't make excuses for being like, oh, I'm just so young, I'm so crazy, and like, whatever, like, haha. And so, because that's kind of my personality, being young and crazy and whatever, it was a bit of a crisis when I turned 27, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And I feel like it's like very cute and encouraged to be exploring and like woofing in South America and touring around the country in your Subaru when you are really young, when you're in your early 20s, but then when you're still feeling equally as lost and confused, maybe more lost and confused than you were when you were younger, I feel like it's not quite as cute anymore. It's kind of like, oh, what's going on there? Are you okay? So I wrote this song about it. It's also the title of the next EP. It's called Lost Dog, and it's about feeling like an old lost dog just wandering around.
I've been noticing the way that my cheeks started pulling down on the rest of my face. I've been noticing the way that my body's moving slowly, lonely, kinda out of place. I've been looking at houses on the internet, then sleeping alone in somebody else's bed. I've been filling the void with whatever kind of toy that could help me forget. Time goes by, what's new? 27 looks so much better on once he's been around the block a couple times. What the hell does he think he's gonna find? Don't you dare say I told you so, 'cause nobody's ever gonna know what they don't wanna know. Chalk it up to a Saturn return, light a candle, leave it on, watch it all burn. Dramatic irony, look who's jaded now, who's acting mean. I've gotta learn to keep my side of the street clean. Time goes by, what's new? 27 looks so much better on you. Lost dog gets less cute once he's been around the block a couple times. The hell does he think he's gonna find? If you find me crawling over mountains, don't call my name anymore. And if you find me howling at a desert moon, nobody's gonna give you a reward. I gotta stop keeping score. Time goes by, what's new? 27's just another year to get through. Lost dog keeps wandering around the block till he's going blind. What the hell does he think he's gonna find? It's banjo time. That's why this thing was here in the first place. I bought this banjo about less than a year ago. So this is a very new instrument to me. So this is really proof that it's really about me getting bored. It's like, I just need to keep challenging myself and playing instruments I don't know how to play in front of hundreds of people. But it's been really fun. I really love this instrument. And I wrote this song when I had a crush on somebody who didn't have a crush on me back because I'm just too much of an acquired taste. I was like, I'm kind of a little freak sometimes, and then the person was like, oh, that's so cool that you're weird like that. And I'm like, yeah. And then they were like, yeah, cool, but I mean, not me. But I will say, if you're a little freak, you gotta just find your other little freaks in the world, because little freaks are usually better than the other ones. Here, is this cool? Also, this is the last song of era number 3, so yeah. I don't know. I feel like I gotta find a more climactic way to end the eras. I think the first night I clapped, so I'll clap. End of era 3. Okay. Well, I might know a little what to do when I can't stop thinking of you. You might know a little more than me about stars and guitars and making ends meet, but you don't know what to make of me. I know that you don't know what to make of me. Well, I thought I was immune to this kind of pining, but it lends itself too well to aimless driving. As I make my way to Georgia, I'll leave a candle burning for you and wonder if you're wishing you were the flame, and wonder if your lips are in the shape of my name. Well, you might know that I'm a bit obsessed with your dirty blonde shag and the way that you dress. I wanna just crawl around in your life, maybe share a cocoon. One day we could fly, fly, fly. Well, I thought I was immune to this kind of pining, but it lends itself too well to aimless driving. As I make my way to New York City, I think of the way that you called yourself pretty and wonder what kind of word you might use for me. I know deep in my heart that we could never be, 'cause I know that you don't know what to make of me. I know that you don't know what to make of me. As I make my way back to LA, I get a little drunk at the end of the day and tell my friends that you're too blind to see the goddamn miracle it done made of me. Well, I know deep in my heart you're too blind to see the goddamn miracle it done made of me.
And once again, I have another instrument where I have one song that I play for 3 minutes and transport it across the country constantly. But it's worth it. I think it's very worth it. I have one more song for everybody. There's no encore, by the way. I just have to say that. I like to do it at the more theatrical shows, but I feel like it would be awkward. I don't even know where I would go, honestly. I'm kind of sad that this little residency is coming to an end. I really have so much love for Artichoke Music. It's such a special space. I've always thought that my music translates best in a listening room like this, and it's just been so special to be here for 3 nights in a row. Not to mention just the vibes in here are amazing. I love all of the artichokes. I love specifically this poster. It's just so cute, the togetherness of everybody. It's giving 90s coffee shop. I wish we had more actual coffee shops that had this vibe in Portland. That would be really cool. But yeah, thank you all for being here also. This has been such a special night. And the last song I'm going to play, I think that I'm going to retire it after this year because I wrote this song 3 years ago. And it's very funny because if you know the song, in the first line I say who I was 3 years ago. And then, but it's funny now because now I'm 3 years older than I was when I wrote it. So it's really, I should say 6 years ago. But anyways, I think it's a very sweet little full circle moment that I am now the age that the person who wrote the song was writing about in the second verse, and I can say that I agree with everything I say in the second verse. That person was right. So, yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all.
Who I was 3 years ago would have a crush on me today. She takes secret videos from the back of the house while I'm on stage. Ask, who did your tattoos? And if you're ever in the mood, I'd love to take you out so I could learn a thing or two. Who I am today would think that 21-year-old was sweet. I'd indulge her bright-eyed inquiries and wouldn't tell her she's naive, even though she'd think I had it all figured out. I'd let her know I'm full of headaches, fear, and doubt. But I'd say thank you for reminding me what this whole thing's about. I guess I've grown a lot and you have showed me how. I get caught up in the forward crawl. I forget to see the beauty of it all. They say just be yourself, will they forget that order's tall? I'm still trying to find it. But this slightly younger self helps me recall. Who I'll be 3 years from now will have some shit to say to me. Relax your furrowed brow, there ain't no reason to worry. And if you feel like giving up, you gotta remember that you're tough. You'll find your power in the tears that line your cheeks. Who I am today would ask that older person for some cheats, but I'd secretly hope they wouldn't give any to me. And in my fantasy they've got it figured out, and all their confidence outweighs their minor doubts. But I'm wise enough to know that's not what this whole thing's about. I got some growing left and you have showed me how. I get caught up in the forward crawl. I forget to see the beauty of it all. They say just be yourself, though they forget that order's tall. I may never find it. Don't really mind that, 'cause this scrappy band of all these different versions of myself, they never fail to catch me